What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Just 13 here with another 1-400 scale review today. We have the two Aeroclassic models, the NYPD on your right and the Highrise A320 on your left. Both of these planes I picked up from eBay, and that's kind of your go-to thing for JetBlue planes. Unless they're just released, like the NG models one, you can still pick it up at a retailer. But for 99% of the other JetBlue models, you got to go to eBay for the majority of them. And if you're looking to get some of these really nice ones, expect to pay a lot. It's just how it is in the 1-400 game right now. JetBlue and Southwest, Spirit, Frontier, and some of the others are probably some of the rarest 1-400s you could find. They seem to go up, even Alaska. I've seen some really high Alaska prices as well. But anyways, we're going to head start with the Highrise A320. I was actually not aware that Aeroclassic made this. This was probably during my little hiatus that I took during college. I do not remember seeing this come out. I usually have always paid attention, but I guess I missed on this one. But this one's really good. I'll have to do a comparison with the Gemini Jet one at some point. But you got to appreciate the Aeroclassic mold and how scaled down it is, and just consistent. That's the word I think I like the most with Aeroclassic, is the word consistent. Always, it's not the most prettiest / well-defined model, but it's the most consistent one, and that's probably what I appreciate the most of them. The tail is really good. Sometimes Aeroclassic is a little wacky with their colors, but just from my eyeballing it, I haven't done a thorough comparison, but this looks pretty good, this high-rise tail that JetBlue has now. And it's on November 537 Juliet Tango, which is the Gemini Jet model, and it's also the 1-400, or it's the 1-400 and the 1-200 Gemini Jet models. So I was kind of hoping for a different reg, but can't get that picky. But it's just nice to have different registrations, especially when you're doing fleet builds and all that stuff. Again, it's very simple the whole way down. You got where your baggage is loaded from the aft section of the aircraft to the front. Name of the aircraft, red, white, and blue. Again, very basic, but that's fine. I don't mind that one bit. It's just all about consistency and just stuff like that. Looking at the wing, basic details on the wing, which is acceptable. JetBlue.com is printed there, and I'm very, very pleased again is looking on the inside of the engine. Aeroclassic doesn't seem to miss this feature. Gemini Jets is like literally 50-50. Some of their models have it, some of them don't. There's not really any consistency there. Very pleased with Aeroclassic. JetBlue.com is posted up there, which is good. And then I'm just going to put the camera back down, and we'll look to the side of the aircraft real quick. All right, so here's the other side. And again, when I said basic, you'll notice that there's no Fly-Fi box there or Fly-Fi logo or anything. Just the name of the aircraft and then the title. So very generic looking, which again, it's fine. I don't mind that. I think I'd rather have it like that if the plane is, in great condition and all things of that nature. But again, all in all, it's a really good plane. I'm just going to zoom back out again. We'll take a look at the belly, and then we'll move on to NYPD. And let's see here. Here we go. So here's the belly. Again, not a whole lot going on down here. Again, there doesn't need to be a lot going on down here. That's probably the important part to note. One thing to note with this livery is JetBlue. So from the part that goes from blue to white, they don't have that light blue trimming anymore. I was a huge fan of the light blue trimming, but it saves money. That little trimming does save money apparently, so that's why that's not there anymore. It still looks good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating. I do miss the light blue trimming. I thought it was a nice pretty little touch there. So that probably wraps up Highrise. We'll go ahead and move on to the NYPD plane, and this is Blue Finest, just make sure it is Blue Finest. I want to say, no, it's Blue Bravest, because FD&Y is blue, is the other one. I'm getting everything mixed up today. All right, so the registration for this guy is November 531 Juliet Lima, and this one is, again, I'm not sure why they pick old planes for paint schemes. I don't know if that really goes into consideration or anything, but this is a very old aircraft. It's one of the earlier regs. And nothing wrong with that. Again, just it's old. It might be one on the list of getting retired in the in the near future, I should say. So hopefully, if it does, they carry it over to a new aircraft or airplane reg or whatever. But here's the tail. It's looking really good. The representation of the flag for them. It looks really nice. I really like the green part to it as well, the white and green. It's very different. And then right here you have honored to support New York's finest. and then has the flag and then the United States flag, and then Airbus printed below it. Aeroclassic, again, they always do paint schemes. It seems like they've literally made every paint scheme, it feels like. The only one they haven't done, well, there's a few they haven't done, but the most notable one they haven't done was the fly-fi plane or binary code, which I'm going to go off on a limb and say that's probably a little too difficult for them. Binary code is the tail, there's so much going on in that tail. I think these models are too small for it. Maybe NG models could find a way to do it. Maybe Gemini Jets could find a way. But I think if you see binary code, it would be on a 1 to 200 plane. I don't know. I don't know if there's enough room on that tail to get everything done. But, oh well. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am wrong, because I'd love to see it. It's a nice Charlotte plane. And here we go to the front of the aircraft. Again, this is a very dark blue. Again, Aeroclassic seems to get their colors off quite a bit sometimes. Again, it's all depending on perspective and lighting. I haven't seen this plane in real life yet, but I have seen pictures and different types of light, and this model might be a little too dark. I could be wrong though, but just from what I've seen on pictures, the plane looks a little more light bluer. But again, it's all perspective, so I'm probably just missing the beat on that. It might actually be the right color, but to me, it's just a little too dark. But that doesn't really throw it off too much. It looks good to me still. And then you got the name Blue Finest at the bottom there under the cockpit. And then again, Aeroclassic again doesn't miss the mark. If I can get the camera properly. There we go. JetBlue.com is posted up there. Looking good. And then the wings and everything look good. The wing fences are good. They have the green inlet color, if I'm not mistaken. And I'll pop us over to the belly, and then we'll wrap up the video. So this is a really good one, guys. I really got it just because my goal is to have all of the JetBlue 1 to 400s, which I should have a little disclaimer for that, because I'm not buying that stupid Aeroclassic A321neo. That thing looks terrible to me. The tail looks off and all that stuff. And I also sold both of my Aeroclassic regular A321s because they're just not good. I wish I did a comparison on them, but again, it was one of those planes where I was in school and I just didn't really care to do it. But yeah, the goal is to have all the A320s. I actually have every single A320 model right now except for the Boston Bruins, so I'm definitely going to look to cop that one at some point just to have them all. Just like Pokemon, just gotta catch them all. Very expensive, but it's all for making the authenticity of T5 looking really good. It's going to be a really huge part of the channel in the future, and having all these airplanes to work with, it gives me a lot of flexibility of making T5 look more authentic and just having a better variety of aircraft, not just using the same paint schemes every video. I think that's the important part. If you're familiar with JetBlue, there's a lot of paint schemes, but we have to respect the fact that not every single paint scheme is going to be at the airport at once, right? So I'm just kind of working on that right ratio of having enough paint schemes like it would in real life, but not to overboard it. That's going to be the important part. And from all my times up in T5, it can get pretty nice up there with paint schemes. I mean, I spent a lot of time up there. I've seen quite a few paint schemes at one time on the field or at the terminal. So something that I'll be considering. And as they're recording this video, T5 is supposed to get here today. But again, it's still going to be a long process. There's still some kinks that need to be worked out. And, the whole mat situation, I need to get that done. So it's not going to be anytime soon, even though I have the terminal. It's going to be I'm not going to give a timeline. It's just going to be a little bit. But if you stuck around to the end of the video, I appreciate it. Thank you as I drop my camera. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see y'all in the next one. And take care, okay?